Okay, well, I'm Linda Nuss, and I am a love coach, a relationship coach. And the reason I got into it, actually, it's just been sort of a natural thing that has happened to me throughout my whole life. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't really realize that I'd be heading this direction as I got older, but it's been a very natural, organic process for me, and an unfolding, and it continues to unfold. Uh, I have a deep, deep passion to reflect the beauty that I see in others. I feel like there's just so much room for people to really realize their own beauty and their own divine nature. And I suppose I sort of got on this trail in my own experience with my relationship as I got older, and just the unfolding, the pattern of conditioning that you grow up with, and believing that you have to accomplish certain things at certain times in order to be really accepted and to be a good person. My upbringing was Catholic, heavily Catholic. I went to Catholic schools for 9 years and then transferred to a public school after that. And honestly, it was a beautiful upbringing. I was very lucky. I had very loving nuns and a very loving, nurturing environment from it. What I didn't really get out of it was a connection, a real connection to the higher power, God, source, universe, whatever you want to label it. Obviously, at the time, you know, in Catholicism, it was God. I felt very separate and afraid a little bit, just because I did not feel the presence within. And I'm not sure it's because they were trying to teach it that way necessarily, but that was how I interpreted it. And so that kind of set me off in a pattern of really maybe just pulling a little bit further and further away from my own divine light, until, you know, you just get wrapped up into the conditioning of what you're taught. You know, everyone's teaching you things, and they're doing the best they can. They're only teaching you what they know. And so as I went along, again, I had a very loving childhood and a wonderful mother. My father passed away when I was just 10 weeks old, and she never remarried, and she raised 4 kids on her own, and she was wonderful, and just a great example of strength. And but I was the youngest in the family, so there's a whole lot of dynamics. You know, it's just interesting, the paths of our lives and how they unfold, and you know, my idea of being accepted and being a good person was not screwing up, not making a mistake, and, you know, being good so I wasn't damned to hell for the rest of my life, and that sort of thing. And you know, intimately, I was really that good of a person. I just didn't know it. I was just running off of conditioning. So anyway, as I got older and into my own relationship, my relationship was built on that foundation of really needing to be accepted and needing to be a good person, a good wife, a good daughter, a good sister, a good you know, stepmom, all these different things. And I did all the things that I needed to do to be those things, but there was a lot of pressure that came with it, and it wasn't driven from the right motor. Looking back, I would have done all those same things anyway, but I would have done it just because I knew that's who I was, not to try to be accepted, not to try to be something I thought I needed to be. I was already that. I just didn't know it. And so, you know, I built my life on that foundation pretty much, and that those insecurities and those needs to be accepted and to be loved, and then I had some experiences that exposed me and kind of cracked the door to my inner light again. Some things were happening that presented into my space, and it was about helping somebody really see their own light, and it was because I could see it in them. And so through this process of, I guess, channeling, for lack of a better description, I had some information flowing through me. At the time, it was just the right timing. It was my time to somehow be shown this, but there was a lot of healing that was happening, and I didn't really understand the information that was coming through to me, so I had to apply it in my own life. And that was when the door was cracked to my inner light, to my own God self, or my own divinity, my own raw just beauty, my perfection. And I believe that we all have that, and that's what I saw in this other person, and I could not accept that they did not see it in themselves. And so it was just, I don't want to say obsessed, but I couldn't let it go. And so there was this huge process of trying to help this person, and or just speaking what was coming through to me, and then I was having to walk the talk because I wasn't. And I'm thinking, well, all this stuff sounds pretty good. It resonates with me and it feels good. So I need to, if I can accept this about this other person, I surely have to accept it about myself. And so it was a huge transformation process for me. It started off, this was 15 years ago, and it propelled me into just absolutely having to learn what was happening to me and through me. I guess what was happening through me. And I've just, studied and learned and, incorporated meditation into my life. And it's been a constant unfolding. But even prior to all this, I have a very just instinctive ability to communicate and to read and be able to connect with people in a way that whatever I say really touches them and helps them. And I believe this is a gift, and I didn't really realize it until all this unfolding happened. And so I take it very seriously now, and I've probably been a coach my whole entire life. I've informally coached for 13 years, and I've professionally coached for the last 3. I just took it to a different level where I wanted to reach more people. And there was the availability to do that through the internet, through Facebook, through, I have a blog talk radio show that it's called Light Me Up, and I've interviewed just such amazing people, and an interview series that includes just amazing people with different insights, different perspectives that, I hope that when people hear these things that they have an aha moment somewhere within that something that is said, really connects to them on the level that they need to hear it, or they can hear it or see it or feel it. So that's really been my journey. And again, I probably the most people I reach are women, but not to say, actually the first person that really instigated this whole process was a man. So, it's been kind of an interesting journey, but I just have a really hard time. I just want people to understand how beautiful they are, and how connected and interconnected and how powerful they are. And that it's not something they have to seek, that it's already within them, that everybody has their own answers. And I see people in relationships that are so suffocating and so stifling of this. The ego gets in the way so much within relationships, and that's why I sort of went off in a venue of kind of a niche or whatever, a relationship coach, but it's always about the relationship with self. Always it starts there. If you're not connected to your own divinity and your own beauty, it's very difficult to really accept that in others and to be able to see it in others.